Arkham City Wave 2, the figures based on the popular video game of the same name, Arkham City, obviously not Arkham City Wave 2, have hit stores. I immediately grabbed the entire wave and added them to my Arkham Asylum Arkham City figure collection. Today, we're going to be taking a look at... Well, hang on. Where's he gone? He seems to have vanished in the shadows, like some form of mastermind orchestrating things from behind the scenes. Ooh, he kept that hush-hush. Okay, after a terribly cheesy introduction, here he is. Dr. Thomas Elliot, or Tommy Elliot if you like, was a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne's, who through an incredibly unfortunate upbringing and a hatred of his own parents, led him down a very dark path. A skilled surgeon and a very intelligent, talented doctor, Tommy Elliot is instead focusing all of his attention on a rather different kind of life. Now in the comics, Hush arrived in a storyline called Hush, which spanned, I believe, a year's worth of the comics. It's a Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb story, which if we go down here, can actually be spotted on my shelf. And there he is. I've also indulged a bit further into the world of Hush with Heart of Hush. But I'm very fond of the character because the storyline he was in was fantastic. I'm a bit upset that he's come back since, solely because he worked so well for that one storyline. In Arkham City, the game, it's a much different thing. The reason he's bandaged in the comics is it's the whole identity. The story revolved around trying to find out who was orchestrating the villains, giving them an edge, giving them the information they need, this, that and t'other. We found out that the people responsible for everything in that story, I'm not going to say any more, I want you to read it, are the Riddler and Hush. Hush is a fantastically designed villain, and the Arkham City video game seems to have completely kept his look. This is pretty much how he looks in the comics. It's a phenomenal design. And I'm very pleased with this figure. I'll tell you now, this is my favourite figure in this wave. Now in Arkham City, his storyline is cut down drastically. We learn through the storyline he's in, where he's been removing the faces of people in Gotham. We learn that he is incredibly vengeful of Bruce Wayne for reasons we're not going to find out entirely yet in the game universe. Sequel! And that he has used the faces of various criminals and others that are in Arkham City to create a Bruce Wayne face. He has surgically removed his own face and put one identical to Bruce Wayne's on top of it, hence the bandages. So in the game, he wears the bandages, in the brief scene we see him, to cover it up. Now we do see him earlier in the game, much earlier, when you first go into the church. If you have a look around, after you've rescued all the guys from Harley Quinn's minions, there is a patient lying there clutching hold of a box filled with stuff, and he won't let go, and the doctor that's nearby comments that he's clinging onto it for dear life. You don't know it's Hush at that point, but you know that he's done something to his face, because the doctor mentions it. However, if you stick around long enough, when you're playing it again on New Game Plus, or if you're just going to play it one more time before Harley Quinn's Revenge, make sure to stick around, just stand by him for a moment, because eventually on the radio, a news story breaks of Bruce Wayne, and when the word Wayne is mentioned, he starts muttering, which was the first big clue that this is Hush. In the game, he removes the thing to reveal a Bruce Wayne face covered in stitches made by different people, and says that basically you can't stop him, he's going to ruin Wayne's reputation. Here's the figure, the thing we're actually here to talk about. No stand like most of the wave, but that's okay, he holds his own weight. The figure is very heavy and very sturdy on its feet. He comes with 2 accessories, dual handguns. That's the one flaw I had with this figure. I had to snap the triggers off of both handguns. There's a little bit of one left there, because like the Riddler, his hands are completely stiff. There was no way to slot the guns in without breaking the triggers. But I don't mind, I'm going to permanently keep him like that. I'm not too fussed about putting them in the holsters, though it's nice that they have that option. He has, sorry, banged his head there, he has a joint in the calf. He has a knee joint, which, unfortunately on mine, quality controls become a problem again. The paint has got into on this one, it won't bend, and if I try it any further I'm going to snap the calf off. I don't want to do that. He has thigh articulation. A lot of reviewers have missed that because it's not obvious. He has groin / thigh articulation up here, no waist articulation, ball jointed shoulder, a pin and socket elbow joint. Rotate to the wrist. Oh no, the gun's coming out. Rotates to the wrist and has a quite stiff, but enough for what you need it for, ball jointed head. I love this figure. Not only is the figure for one of my favourite storylines, not only was I delighted to see him cameo in the game, but this saves me hunting down the Hush figure from the Hush Figures line, the Hush Figures wave, because I feel I've got him here. I mean, just looks so cool. Highly recommended. Quality control does affect the overall score, however, so I'm deducting at least 1 point for that. But I'm going to say it, Hush, best figure in Arkham City Wave 2 in my opinion. Strong 9 out of 10. Pick him up if you can, I insist. Stick around, there's loads more Arkham City reviews yet to come. I'll go to my toys playlist for more of the same old stuff and ting. See you in a bit.